Thanks for clicking on State of the City. My name is Todd Prafke. I'm the City Administrator here in St. Peter. Today is December 7th, and I'm here to talk to you about a couple of different things. My primary missions today are to visit with you about the workshop from just a couple of nights ago, December 5th, and then also talk about some tidbits of information that I hope will be useful for you as you live, work, or play in St. Peter. So let me jump right into it right away. Here's an example or a copy of the agenda for Monday, December 5th, the council's working on. As you can see on there, they talked about the Veterans Memorial, housing stock survey, budget and levy, getting them ready to go for their next meeting, hospital proposed expansion project, and fire department alcohol training and update. I'm going to hit the top three of those. The other two, they really didn't talk too much, but if you want to know more about what I wrote about that, you can certainly see this packet online on our website, stpetermn.gov, and you can go to where council packets are, government council packets, and pick the packet from December 5th, and you'll be able to see exactly everything that's in here that the council sees. So first, let me get to that first point of discussion, that Veterans Memorial. Here's a great picture that the folks brought in. Bob Lambert, who's the he is the chair of the Veterans Memorial Committee, and Eric Olson. Eric is the architect for that project. I hope you could see that okay. There's some other visuals online if you want to see a little bit nicer picture of that. And so really they talked about what is considered the final planning that they're going to bid out relative to this project. And so the process goes like this. The council had previously provided approval for the Veterans Memorial to be placed in Minnesota Square Park at that corner of College and 169. And so since it was in the very early stages, there was some square footage set aside, things like that, but the committee would have to come back and get approval of the specific design stuff, because after all, the city, all of the taxpayers in town are going to own this once the Veterans Memorial Committee has it completed. And so we want to make sure that it meets the requirements that the city has in the long term, and how is it going to be maintained, and what are the rules for placing names on there, and how big is it, and all those kind of things. And so this is that process. And so what the council did was they heard on Monday night from Bob and from Eric about the final plans for this. And the mechanism by which this occurs is there's an agreement, what we call a development agreement, entered into between the city and the Veterans Memorial folks that says, here's a whole book of plans and specifications. I was going to pull out the book, but I guess you might be able to see the plans back there. There's a whole book of plans and specifications about how this is going to look, how it's going to be built, what are the timelines, etc. And so that agreement says the city council will accept ownership and allow it to be built if it follows those specifications. And so that's what is planned to be on the council meeting of Monday night here of the 12th. And so if you have more interest or want other information, a lot of the drawn out plans are again in that workshop packet from just last night, and there'll be some more information included in the packet for the 12th for the council meeting Monday night. But they continue to move ahead. They talked a little bit about their fundraising and where they are at in relation to fundraising. There were some specific questions relating to, where does the electricity get hooked up for? Where do the lights go? How big is this? When does that start? How big is that? How do the names get placed? And so all of those really important questions are answered and laid out clearly, well, at least I hope clearly, in this development agreement that the two parties will enter into. Again, the city council will likely take action on that next Monday night on the 12th. Now, the second item I wanted to talk about was a housing stock survey, and so this was really cool. This is a survey that's done across all of the single-family residential homes within St. Peter. And it was done by a URSI, Urban Regional Studies class, graduate students from Mankato State, Minnesota State, Mankato, under the direction of Miriam Porter. Miriam, there's a professor that works with us on occasion. And so the students were Megan Donahue, Matt Melvin, and Molly Westerman. So I want to mention them again. Megan, Matt, and Molly did a fantastic job on this housing survey. In fact, they developed some or applied some new technology to how this gets done. And so this is really meant to be a street view or a sidewalk view of everyone's single family home, and roofs and sidings and windows and foundations are kind of looked at just at a cursory level, and data is applied to them about their net relative need for repairs. And as many of you know, we're getting to that point of about 18, 19, 20 years past the tornado, and so it's time for us to start doing some rehabilitation work, and the city wants to provide some opportunity for that. And so what these students did was they did that kind of windshield, what we call a windshield or sidewalk survey, and then they applied information or cross-referenced that information with census data, which is really cool. And what they did was really fantastic and really useful. I can't stress it enough. And so they also put together a 40-page report. Now that report will go on our website here in the not too distant future, so watch for that. I'll try and remember to let you know when that's on there a couple weeks from now. But this is one of those building blocks for us to secure resources from Greater Minnesota Housing Agency, our fund, Minnesota Housing Finance Agency, and others to help people do rehab and refurbishing of their homes. So we're really excited about this. And the quality of work that this group did was so high that I really believe that it helps us, gives us greater opportunity to put programs together, understand what we need to do, where we need to go, and get resources to help homeowners, maybe like you, rehabilitate your home. And so anyway, very cool stuff. Thanks to Megan, Molly, and Matt for their work on that. The council was really impressed. Again, really cool information, and how they tied the data together was really, really fantastic. Now, the third item that I wanted to mention on this agenda was the budget and levy warm-up. So if you haven't had a chance to look at the city budget, the general fund budget, it is online. We've talked about it a number of times. It was online in September. And so the goal for this meeting was to get the council refreshed and give them just a little bit of updates on what happened from September to today, to the first part of December. And so what the council has decided to do is that they told us that they wanted to see a change of about $50,000 within the levy, so a reduction of about $50,000. This really relates to some of the activities that are going on, but I think principally related to a sidewalk project that they have been planning to do, and that we had levied or planned to levy an additional $100,000 per year for. So they're reducing that amount and taking it to 50 for that project, and then taking an additional $50,000 from reserves. They hope to fund that in a little bit different way, and we'll see how that works out into the future. But they have a plan for how operations occur in the general fund. By the way, for those folks that think about property taxes, which I think everyone probably does, at least to a little bit, is that this will reduce the city's share of property taxes by about $20 on a $150,000 house, so about $20 less per year on a $150,000 house. So anyway, if you have questions about the budget, there's great information included in the packet and online that you can see. And in fact, you even have the opportunity, if you scroll through, to see all the little notes that staff attaches to this line item expenditure or this line item expenditure. And it says things like, we need new batteries for our automatic defibrillators, or those kind of things that are listed in here. So it gives you, can give you a great feel for the operations and the kind of things that are going on within the city of St. Peter. One other item that I wanted to visit about that was not part of this workshop is this list. And I know you've seen this list before if you watched us and you've maybe heard us talk about it at council meetings. This is the items of vital importance. And so this is a list that the council has developed over the years and is modified from time to time about things that they think are crucial within our community. Sometimes there are issues that are crucial. Sometimes there are things that they want to see additional emphasis on. Sometimes there are things that they see as, oh, God, here's kind of a problem and we think we can fix it by doing some more. Some things it's just things that additional focus should be provided on. So this is that list. And I think it's important for everybody to see and understand and know a little bit about this list. And well, anyway, that's why I'm showing it to you. Proactive housing solutions, you see that in what we're doing with Traverse Green. Healthcare is certainly important within our community. You see the work that's going on with the community hospital and other activities, including additional sidewalks and trails and those things that we can do to help keep us all a little bit more healthy. A community that's aesthetically distinctive, improved sustainability, and lots of opportunity for early childhood care, educational opportunities, and certainly exceptional schools draw people to your community. So I want you to be able to see that and know that that is going on. Again, this is kind of the list of lenses that the council uses to look through things as they make decisions that affect the community, not only in the short term, but in the long term. Now let me get to some tidbits. First of all, if you haven't signed up for Nixle, I don't know if you noticed today's really cold. We're likely to get snow at some time in the future. Nixle is one of those resources that sends out an email or a text message to you, and you can sign up for it. And we send it out when there's a snow emergency or when there are other things that are going on. So it's free, doesn't cost any money, and you can sign up for free, and it'll send that message out to you so that you know what's going on. Now, we don't use it a lot. We kind of save it for those big picture kind of things, but it's really a worthwhile app thing to have available to you to receive that message. So I wanted to mention that. I also want to mention, since I talked about snow, unfortunately, at some point we're going to likely plow and we're going to need to shovel. And at my house, probably at your house, you're going to need to shovel too. It's really important to remember that you have about 24 hours to get that snow off your sidewalk so that people can use the sidewalk. And if you don't, after the city has completed taking care of all of its sidewalks and trails, it will come around and do that. And unfortunately, we charge you a lot to clean your sidewalk. We don't want to clean your sidewalk. We want you to clean your sidewalk. So please remember that. And if you're not home or you're not going to be around, maybe you go south during the winter, make sure to have it arranged so that somebody's taking care of your sidewalk for you. One other bit of advice is it's against the law to take that snow, whether it's from your sidewalk or from your driveway, and just push it out into the street for the city to take care of. You got to put it on your own spot. You just can't push it onto somebody else's property or onto the city street for the city to take care of it. So watch for those things. Take care of your sidewalks. It's very important. People walk, bike, rollerblade, push the stroller like crazy within St. Peter, so watch for those. I also want to mention Rivers Edge Hospital. One of my favorite talking points, Rivers Edge Hospital. This happens to be a card about urgent care, which they're doing great. If you need urgent care, this is the place to go. But they also received another award for patient satisfaction. And so we are really proud of the team there, the employees there, everybody that does such a great job to make sure that patients are satisfied with the care and the service that they receive there. So congratulations to George and the staff out there at Rivers Edge, our St. Peter Community Hospital. I'm running out of time. I'm going a little bit long. Don't forget the hot sheet. If you're not signed up for our weekly newsletter, we would love for you to sign up. There's a lot of great information that comes out every week in this. And here are some of the important things that you might need to know. Here's how to email me. That's where you can get us on our website, that second line there, or we would love it if you would like us on Facebook, or you can give me a call. We're always happy to visit about things that are going on in St. Peter. With that, I'm going to wrap it up. Thanks for clicking on State of the City. We really appreciate whether you watch us on Facebook or on our YouTube channel, or whether you're catching us on our website. We really appreciate you taking the time to watch, to click on this video blog, and I hope to see you again next time.